Morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to our weekly market update. Today, I've got Maddie and Shay with me. How are you guys?
Thank you. Good. How are you? A bit sore, but
good. A bit sore, yeah. We've got Maddie and a few of the teams. So, Kayla, Nikita, Jordan, and his partner, Michaela, Phoebe, and partner, Matt, all came in to do the Point to Pinnacle yesterday. So, that was a big effort. Tell us a little bit about your adventure up the mountain in the fresh weather. So, yeah.
Adventure's one word. It was great. It was good to get to the top, but it was a very emotional day.
Yes.
And I could say it's more a mental thing. Like my legs could do it, but my head was telling me that I couldn't.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good. I'll never do it again. But at least I can say I did it once. And yeah, Phoebe and Matt smashed it.
Yep.
Which was good, but yeah, the rest of us struggled a bit. Hats off to anybody that doesn't walk past.
They're used to climbing up 1,300-metre high mountains on a regular occasion.
Yeah, that's right.
On much worse tracks than a road too.
Yeah.
So it's probably
I know that I'm walking very weird today.
So any of those guys walking around playing, you know one of the
Yep.
week. So, yeah. While you're talking, how's the property management market been this week, and what's the activity levels been like?
Good. We are starting to sort of dwindle down a little bit as we get a little bit closer to Christmas, so you won't see as many active listings or new listings coming up.
Yep.
Just because we want everything to be sort of finalised for the Christmas period, and then we'll start again. So yeah, a little bit more quiet, but we've been working hard to lease the ones that are listed at the moment. So we've still got 6 properties available as it is. 3 of those should be leased by the end of the week.
Yep.
The other ones won't be too far away from that. So then the next few weeks after that will be us really concentrating on other things as we wind down towards Christmas.
Yep.
We've got a few viewings booked this week though, so we do have 99 Lucaston tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow afternoon, if anybody wants to go see that.
Yep.
And we should have another one for 3 Brookdale in Signet later this week. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah, no, it's looking good. It's nice to be able to have a breather after a big year, but yeah.
Yeah, don't speak too soon. You've probably 3 new properties this week.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to complain about it.
Sales market, what's been happening activity-wise over the last week or so, Shay?
Yeah, it's been fairly good. We're fairly similar in terms of the rental side of things. We're having lots more conversations with owners at the moment to figure out whether or not now is the best time for them to launch, or whether they want to wait until after Christmas.
And how's that conversation go with a lot of people? Because there's sort of a window now and then a window early in the new year.
Yeah. So it's quite good, especially for the coastal properties. We still find go quite well during the Christmas period because people are travelling down this way, and sometimes they can, obviously want to move down here to be with their family and whatnot. So it's really,
But a lot of others are deciding to hold off.
Yeah. Some others are, if they're not needing to move, are wanting to. They want to obviously just have maybe one last Christmas in their home with their family and things, and then kind of get started in the new year after that, and not have to worry about keeping the place completely tidy and whatnot for opens, or us hustling on Boxing Day to come in and show some people through. So.
Do you find in the Christmas period, for the people that still want to sell, are there many people actively looking during that period because they have some time off, or is it everybody's just concentrating on the festivities?
It's kind of half and half, I feel. I don't know if you experience the same from that.
Look, I think it's generally the busiest month of the year on realestate.com and domain, so the most views every year. And one of the lowest amount of written contracts in Australia every year in January. So a lot of that is due to focus. A lot of it's due to the feeder markets, the big markets like Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane. No auctions happening much through that period. So then, not a lot of transactions happen to them spread across the country too. A lot of the people are primarily on holidays first and houses second, so they're probably great contacts for us that will sell something to them in 1 or 5 years' time and build relationships with those buyers, but they're actually often not buying a house this year, so they're here just sort of seeing family and working out when the kids finish uni they'll be moving back, or when they retire, or all those kind of things. So it depends. That happens a bit over that period. So it's sort of a good volume of activity in the area, but the volume of people that are actual ready to buy buyers is much lower. So, Sorry, I went off tangent there. on at the moment.
Yeah, we had 5 just over the last week.
Yep.
We have quite a few more coming over the next couple of weeks as well, but I think things will start to slow down after that once people decide probably on whether or not to launch next year and whatnot. So.
Yep. And offers, there seems to be a bit of activity again at the moment. So quite a few things going under offer at the moment. So,
yeah, there has been, which has been really good, especially for the owners who may have been on the market for a little bit longer than they'd planned to or noticed from 6 months ago or whatnot. So it's still going really well.
And then another big weekend of open homes. So we had a bit of a mixture from 0 groups to 1 to a couple with 1, a couple with 2, 1 with 8. And so it was a bit of a mixture across the board there again. So, but quite a few with that sort of 2 groups seems to be settling in with a lot of the properties. So definitely. But it's a real good response. The last probably 3 weekends, there's been 1 property that's certainly had a high volume of attendees still. So certainly location and pricing right. Then there's a lot of people watching the market, and we're seeing that with the vendor reporting through like our websites, where we're looking at how many eyeballs and views and things are getting. They're actually not falling off much from last year. It's just the actual people that are going to the next level and inquiring and attending has fallen off dramatically. So a lot of people are watching the market. They're just only taking the step to act and sort of have that kind of courage to do something if they feel it represents value. And value was taking the risk on, I suppose, with the interest rate environment and the cost and that sort of thing. So we were looking at some of the stats this morning, and looking nationwide, we're sort of seeing now that the decreases are down, and like it's Brisbane, Hobart, Canberra's now followed Melbourne and Sydney, and it's been a few months of negative growth in all of those places. So those numbers averages are getting down to like 4 and 5 and 6% falls in a lot of those sort of places, and more in some of the Melbourne and Sydney higher end suburbs and things like that. So it seems to be a number that a lot of people are talking about in a lot of places is around 5% of a fall compared to last year. But it's interesting to see that coming through in data now that it's pretty consistent through around that. So that's kind of, but still probably up 70% of where it was 3 or 4 years ago as well. So and rents still on the way up. By looking at those data, right, nationwide, it looks like rents rolling year was 9.5 to 10.8% growth nationwide in rental prices. So certainly as sale prices fall and rental prices going up, it's certainly give everyone all your properties to Maddie.
I'll take them. And I feel like that was also good time, well, not great timing, but that's probably why we didn't experience the winter lull that we usually do. Because the rents were still increasing, people were like, well, let's just rent it out. Let's try and get some money for it. So, I mean, it's been great. Very busy. So hopefully that continues.
And look, I think it will, partly because without taking a 2-hour episode, but state planning and land release, there's just not much land being released in Hobart area over the next 5 years to actually build new houses, and the planning hasn't been there to foresee that to grow at a speed like that's almost running behind where the capacity needs to be. So there's just not going to be enough houses for the people and the population and things that will happen. So that's going to keep the rents high and potentially save Tassie from having the price fall off to Sydney, Melbourne, and the places where the big supply and demand options are. Is simply there's just not enough houses for the people. Is really what it will come down to. So I'm getting off on tangents. Sorry, everybody, but just a little bit of context on that. But generally, a reasonable amount of activity, and yes, we'll probably see a busy 2 or 3 weeks now, and then probably starting to get a little bit quieter after that, and then expecting a lot of properties probably hitting the market in February, that kind of time of year, I would imagine, and a busy autumn period, I think, across both departments coming up. So cool. All right, guys, we'll leave you there for today. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week on the update.